Before we jump into today's story, a massive shout out to all of you for getting Zimwaves TV over the 1,000 subscriber mark. We're growing, and it's all thanks to your support. Now, the next step is those magical 4,000 watch hours. Stick around, watch the whole video, and help us reach this milestone. Let's get into it. ZANU PF's latest diplomatic faceplant deserves a standing ovation for sheer comedic value. The Zimbabwean government, in all its diluted glory, just got a resounding no from the UK on its bid to rejoin the Commonwealth. Yes, the same Commonwealth it stormed out of 2 decades ago in a huff, accusing everyone of being colonial oppressors. Now, like an ex who realizes they can't survive without the Netflix password, ZANU PF is back, begging to be let in. And surprise, surprise, the UK isn't having it. It's almost poetic, isn't it? The same regime that turned sovereignty into a buzzword for destroying their own economy is now crying foul because the Commonwealth won't take them back. You can almost hear their tantrum. How dare you refuse us? We're Zimbabwe. We specialize in election fraud, human rights violations, and suppressing dissent. Isn't that Commonwealth material? Spoiler alert, it's not. The British government, to its credit, is standing firm, and for good reason. Zimbabwe under ZANU PF is like a bad sequel nobody asked for. Same tired plot lines, worse special effects. The rigged elections, the persecution of opposition leaders, the media blackout during crises. These aren't the hallmarks of a country ready to rejoin the Commonwealth family. They're the trademarks of a government that's perfected the art of shooting itself in the foot while blaming the gun manufacturer. Let's take a moment to appreciate the irony here. ZANU PF, the same party that shouted from the rooftops about how leaving the Commonwealth was a glorious act of defiance against neocolonialism, is now doing everything short of sending flowers and chocolates to be allowed back in. What's changed? Oh, right. Everything. The economy is in shambles, international respect is a distant memory, and the party's desperation to appear legitimate is now painfully obvious. But let's not kid ourselves. This isn't about the Commonwealth's values or principles. ZANU PF doesn't care about democracy, human rights, or the rule of law. If they did, they wouldn't be running a country where journalists are treated like criminals, elections are more predictable than reruns, and citizens are punished for daring to demand accountability. No, this is about appearances. ZANU PF wants that shiny Commonwealth badge to convince the world they're a functioning government, not the clown car they've become. And what about the UK's response? It's refreshingly straightforward. Absolutely not. Britain has taken one look at Zimbabwe's mess and said, "We're good, thanks." And honestly, who can blame them? Letting Zimbabwe back into the Commonwealth right now would be like hiring a pyromaniac as a firefighter. It's just asking for trouble. The UK's decision is less about punishing Zimbabwe and more about protecting the integrity of the Commonwealth. Meanwhile, ZANU PF's reaction has been predictably absurd. They've blamed everyone except themselves, spinning wild theories about British racism, neocolonialism, and probably aliens. But here's the thing. You can't cry foul when the foul is your entire existence. The UK didn't rig Zimbabwe's elections. The UK didn't destroy Zimbabwe's economy. And the UK definitely didn't tell ZANU PF to treat its citizens like an inconvenience. This is all on them. The real losers here, of course, are the people of Zimbabwe. While ZANU PF is busy throwing diplomatic tantrums, ordinary Zimbabweans are struggling to survive in a country where inflation makes monopoly money look like a solid investment. They deserve a government that prioritizes their needs, not one that spends its time chasing international validation it hasn't earned. As for the Commonwealth, it's dodged a bullet. By keeping Zimbabwe out, it's sending a clear message. Membership isn't a participation trophy. If you want in, you have to prove you're committed to democracy, human rights, and good governance. And let's be honest, ZANU PF wouldn't know good governance if it hit them with a constitution. So, hats off to the UK for holding the line. In a world where principles often take a backseat to politics, it's refreshing to see a government say, "No, you don't meet the standard, and we're not lowering it for you." If only more countries had the courage to do the same. That's all for today on Zimwaves TV. Thank you again for helping us cross 1,000 subscribers. Remember, we're gunning for those 4,000 watch hours, so hit that like button, share the video, and let's keep this momentum going. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and stay hopeful.